Good evening and welcome to Stupid O'Clock News. I'm Lewis Lee. Dateline, Dearborn Heights, Michigan. In what most people would consider a lucrative mistake, a Detroit area man who accidentally bought an extra lottery ticket has won $2 million jackpots. Samir Mazahim, 56, of Dearborn Heights, said he was just saving numbers on a lottery app after buying a $2 ticket for the June 9 Mega Millions game. Then he realized that he had purchased a second ticket with the same numbers. I was a little bummed, but didn't think much of it, Mazahim said, until he recently logged into the app and found he had $2 million winners. Don't get ahead of me there. I couldn't believe it was real, Mazahim said. It took several days for reality to set in that my mistake made me $2 million. He recently claimed his prize and plans to buy a house and save the rest. And he says he does not plan on having that horseshoe up his rear end surgically removed either. That's the news. On with the show.
So now let me get this straight. How did he how would they cash that in? Would they give him two separate checks, one check?
No, I mean if you buy two tickets with identical numbers, each one is treated as a different winner. So he got $2 million checks. Well, after, half of it gets taken by the IRS.
Well, hey, look at it this way. Instead of getting the taxes pulled out on $2 million, it got pulled out on $1 million each, so he saved money.
Yeah. Somehow I don't think the IRS gave him a
Oh. So how is everybody doing tonight?
Better than I deserve.
Yeah. Look, there's a message over in private chat for you. So, but yeah, I heard Uncle Sleepy kicked in the after show last week or Thursday night.
Wouldn't be a bit surprised.
Don't
but it didn't make it to work on time.
And you did make it to work. Yeah.
Sure did.
We were wondering.
When I left out after the show, I started, instead of going to bed, I started working on some videos and came back about 3:00, and there's Dan turned sideways in the chair with his head like this on the desk, out cold.
Hey, if you're going to sleep.
We tried. Okay, we tried once again.
We tried everything in our power to get you up.
Well, not everything. I mean,
That is pointless. You could set off a nuclear bomb next door and I would not even blink.
Would you wake up to the telephone?
Probably not. Once I'm asleep, I'm asleep. There's no coming back from that.
There's one thing I didn't think about trying is we should have just messaged him on Facebook and let the little bell ring.
That could have did it.
It's just something real subtle. What?
Yeah, because it would have repeated through my phone and through both iPads.
Add it to your experimental list.
Done and done.
Sticky note.
Maybe you can use it on Chris tonight. He's probably easier to wake up than I am, though.
On Chris? Did Chris fall asleep too?
Didn't he just post something about don't bother trying to wake him up?
No, that's Carl. That's Carl Witzman. And Carleen. Yeah, Carleen. Yeah. Carl says, don't try waking me up if I fall asleep in here, though. Ha, ha, ha. And then Carleen says, translation, don't send that Carly to wake him up. Only way we'll send you in to wake you up is if you can pull us up on the phone so we can get video.
Mm-hmm. Ooh, in my case,
it's for content. That's all it's for. It's just for content.
Do what? What'd you say, Heather?
It's for content.
Yeah.
It's all about the content.
It's all about the content. Oh, have y'all heard of the YouTuber named Mr. Beast?
Mm-hmm.
No.
Maybe.
He dropped a new video today. And Mr. Beast's channel, what he does is give stuff away. I mean, stupid amounts of money and stuff away. So he
Now,
took
when you say stupid, are you like, $3.35, or are you like $3 million?
Like $30 million.
$10,000, $15,000 at a drop.
Hey,
That could be considered stupid amounts of money.
Like one
Um,
episode, he literally made a dollar store that was like PCs and PlayStation 4s and Xboxes, and like it was literally he made his own dollar store and just gave away like something like $600,000 worth of merch.
Bless you.
Well,
Gesundheit.
Thank you.
bless you.
All right, go ahead, Joe. Sorry, I jumped over you.
You got to vote in COVID.
yeah. Well, the episode tonight is he took up Uber driving, and as he's driving, he asked them, "Why are you grabbing an Uber tonight?" And if they said, "I don't have a car," he gave them the car.
Dang.
Where is he getting all this money?
Sponsors and merch sales.
Sponsors and merch. Yeah.
Yeah,
That's a lot of money.
Well,
Yeah.
like Honey, the little thing you add to your browser,
Yeah.
will drop him like 50 grand at every video that he's part of. Just to drop him
That's
50
two
grand.
cars right there.
Yeah.
And then he gave away a brand new Lambo convertible.
That I'd have to kill somebody over. A Lamborghini is my expensive dream car. I have an affordable dream car. Well, two. And I have a expensive dream car.
Okay. How many broken down cars do you have in your driveway right now?
One.
Okay. But you know what it's like. to
I've
try and get a
always
car
wanted
back
to
running?
do their 4-wheel drive myself.
Lamborghinis will spend more time in a garage being repaired than you will ever drive one.
That's why it's my expensive.
No, that's,
Of course, there is
you
a
have to buy an Italian. You have to buy an Italian mechanic to keep it running.
now there is a new supercar out. It is called the SSC Toyota 331 mile an hour top speed.
I believe I saw the news report on that.
That looks insane. I just looked at a photo of that.
So
So if you're driving up near I-75 and the 24 split, you can sit in traffic at really, really, really high speed.
Mm-hmm. That's what I never get about cars nowadays. Mine says it can go 160, but I can only make it to about 85 before traffic kicks in.
yeah. Well, they did a video on it of all that, and then I got to researching because I found out the guy's last name. And the corporation his last name is sued him and had to change the name of his company. His last name is Shelby.
Oh, well.
Oh,
No relations.
Yeah.
I thought that was Jason Castarosa.
So Carol's company got a little miffed.
Yeah. Especially since he's built a car that makes their supercar garbage.
Hey, Shelby will never be garbage.
No, it'll never be garbage.
It might be outdone, but a Shelby
will never be
garbage.
Okay. I was just reading something a while back where Kylie Jenner sued
No.
Kylie Minogue over the use of the name Kylie.
Kylie Minogue was here first.
Exactly.
Kylie Jenner's
That's
named
like-
after
that's
Kylie
like-
Minogue.
I know, but that's like Lady Antebellum changing it to Lady A and then finding out, oh, there's a performer in the Pacific Northwest that's been going by Lady A for decades.
Yeah, like 25,
And
30
she
years.
sued and they sued her to make her quit using Lady A.
And won.
Really?
And won.
Yeah, and the whole thing was they dropped the antebellum so that they wouldn't offend people. You know what offends me? Pushing people around like that. That offends me.
When the word antebellum actually isn't racist, it's actually
It's
a real
not.
word. It's actually
It
a real
just
word
means-
in the dictionary.
Yeah.
It's not something made
Just
up to
means
be
Before
racist.
the Civil War.
Mm-hmm.
Before war. Yeah, that's
Yeah.
what it means.
It's a period of
Pre-war.
time.
That's literally what it means. Pre-war.
Yeah. For those that didn't know, we are now broadcasting on 4 channels tonight.
So Joe is now in charge of 4chan.
Yeah.
Yeah, let's
Oh,
get that
God.
rumor started. That'll shut us down.
Yeah.
Well,
Moderating
let's just
T was hard enough.
You can't use the word 4chan. We already have it. So,
Done. We broke
Done.
the rules.
So yeah, we're and that is in preparation for next week's HalloCon. If anybody signs in through the StreamYard line, you'll actually see the HalloCon is already up and scheduled to 5 channels.
3 Facebook, YouTube, and Twitch.
Which did you, when you first looked at it, did you sort of cock your head sideways like, or
I knew what that symbol meant, and
yeah?
I knew that you had talked about it.
But when you saw all of them stretched across, you
I was
Oh yeah, it
slightly
did
impressed.
take me a second with the 3 Facebooks.
yeah, we are high dollar now.
Are we? What are the 3 Facebooks? Because I didn't mouse over them and look. I know one of them's your page.
The Father, the Son, and the Holy Spirit.
Well, on the HalloCon show, yeah, the HalloCon is
Right, con Dios.
there's 3 HalloCon pages I control. There's HalloCon Fantasy Horror Convention, there's a HalloCon page, and then there's a HalloCon group. So it will be shot to all 3 of those, plus YouTube, plus Twitch.
Yeah, and you're going to need, if we gain any traction on Twitch, you need to put some moderators in there because it
Yeah.
gets really weird really quick.
Thanks for volunteering, Blake.
Oh, darn. I've never moderated a Twitch channel before.
Yeah.
Is
Now
that
I
even
just gotta-
possible? Moderating? I mean,
Now I just got to figure out how to turn you into a moderator.
Um,
I don't know how to. So we're going to have to talk that.
yeah,
I suspect you'll be moderately successful.
that's /mod space my name, I believe. That's how it used to be, like 6 months ago when I did COVID Con. So
You know, every time you make me a moderator of one of your pages, Joe,
Yeah.
Facebook tries to sell me stuff.
Yep.
I know.
Oh, they're already trying to
Facebook
get me
tried
to
to
Boost this
modify
post.
this
Anyway.
page.
Well, don't boost anything because there's no money in that bank account right now.
Oh, they take it out of mine.
It's gonna tie it to my bank account.
That's what he wants you to do. That's the secret.
And no, I have no money in my bank account.
I just
because
went to the grocery store. I don't have any money left.
Heather has no job.
Hey, if I log in as Mark Zuckerberg, where do you think the money comes from?
China.
The fine.
Do it. Do it. Do it. Don't really do it.
Actually, I spent a little
Hey,
extra money.
I could log in as Mark Zuckerberg and then sue him for using my name.
Like I went
Well,
to
it seems to work for others.
I went to the Dollar Tree, and I usually grab some snacks and random stuff there. And they have Blu-rays at Dollar Tree. Everything's literally $1. So
Probably
I-
all the movies that Joe's going to be playing on the overnight hours.
I don't know. Some of these have like Stargate
Hey, don't
Atlantis.
laugh.
Like
we used to watch those in the military.
Stargate
Oh.
Atlantis is pretty cool.
No, they
Is that-
have
Is that the
some are
series?
actually good movies.
It's a fan selection Blu-ray, like of like their top episodes. Like I got this like Martin Scorsese film that I've never heard of before. Wannabe. I got this is a badass film, Road Warrior.
The
Yeah.
original Road Warrior?
Random French film that I can't find anywhere called 1987. That Skunk's gonna like this one, Zombie Night. I
Well, he'll
got
know what it is, whether or not he
exactly.
likes it.
Olivia Wilde film, Drinking Buddies. I got something called Brotherhood, kind of like a violent gang shoot 'em up thing. Kickboxing film, and something that's kind of our speed. So, Ironclad. All of together, $9. Instant collection, $9.
That's not
Really?
bad.
So
Now you got to
I had a
buy.
friend-
Now you got to buy a Blu-ray player.
I have one. We got a PS4.
I had a friend. He bought a DVD at dollar store, something like that,
Mm-hmm.
and it was 25 early westerns on one DVD set. All early John Wayne
Mm-hmm.
and Hopalong Cassidy and stuff. Just old black and white stuff.
Oh yeah.
And we got bored one night. Set up a movie screen. We all sat out there with the projector watching old John Wayne flick.
That's the way to do it. Yeah.
Well, I'll tell you,
Okay.
I have seen Lewis's. It's not a drive-in theater. What would you call it? A deck side theater?
Well, it's the Skydeck Cinema.
Skydeck Cinema.
Yeah, it has a name.
Yeah,
Skydeck Cinema.
the Skydeck Cinema. That is a neat little setup he's got on the back deck.
Thank you. Yeah, it's an IMAX screen that you can roll up into a pergola or whatever and pull it down for
Now-
screening movies. It's a 12 feet diagonal. So
That's a good stretch.
yeah.
Now the question, I didn't touch it or play with. Is it like one of those window shades? You pull it down and then you pull it and it goes back.
No. But you have to manually roll it back up. I tried to do it to where you could, roll it with a rope, but that didn't work. So you just have to get up there and manually roll it back up. But it protects it. So
I need to know what your diameter of that pole is, and I can get you something.
really, okay.
Yeah.
Well, it's on a 1-inch PVC tube right now.
Okay, so we need a 1 inch. Okay,
Yeah, it's 10 feet long, 1-inch diameter.
okay. I just need to know what the diameter is. Dan's running off, so let's pull him off screen.
You'll realize it in about a minute and a half.
Yeah, I pick up abandoned garage doors every now and then.
Oh, okay.
Might be able to come up with something if I can find a sprocket.
Okay. Yeah, just let me know.
Mm.
Yeah, we got an Optima high def projector and a Bose Wave radio that I play the audio into, because the Bose Wave radio has an auxiliary input.
Yeah.
I go straight from the projector. Well, from the projector to the Bose Wave radio, and I mean we can rock it. We can make that deck shake.
Now maybe I'll let you borrow my sound system one time, and then the neighbors down there with the bus can hear the movie.
Mm.
Oh, speaking of the bus, when I left there, I turned like you said. I saw the bus off to the left, but when you turn right down there,
Mm-hmm.
I got up to the stop sign to turn out onto, I guess that's Lakeview Drive.
Yeah.
Man, your neighbors are building one heck of a outdoor venue.
Yeah, we call that the boathouse because it looks like it's got a bow.
Yeah.
But yeah, man, somebody recently bought that house, and they've been dipping a lot of money into it.
It is a gorgeous outdoor pavilion, and they were placing the stone around the fireplace
Mm.
when I went by, and I was like, "Ooh, somebody got Party Central going."
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's gonna be a nice little area.
Oh. So, all right, he's almost back.
Almost.
Yeah, he just sat down,
He's putting his headphones
put
on.
his headphones on, and now, hi, Dan.
I could not get the leave studio button to come up. I was sitting here like for 5 minutes trying to get the darn thing to pop up. All I wound up doing was getting full screen of John.
I'm sorry.
Good going, John.
Well,
Hey, it's
I've
not
got
his fault.
Carl, I've just got a big screen TV in the living room for that. But you know, the fun of going out on the deck is that you can be out in the fresh air and have a fire going. We don't have a fireplace, so you know, we got a little fire pit on the deck we can stoke up. That's fun.
That sounds phenomenal.
It's awesome,
It
especially the right
Especially
time of
tonight.
year. Yeah.
Yeah,
Because
tonight
it's
would have been a good time.
52 degrees up here.
Well, let's see. It's 64 here right now, but
It is cold. It is so cold outside.
It's a little bit chilly.
well, you always look cold because you're always wearing hoodies or sweaters or knit caps.
Yep. I'm sitting here right now and my feet are ice. And my hands are too, and my nose.
Well, get your dog over there. It's foot warmer.
She's wearing the kind of shame. I don't want to have her on me because it's uncomfortable.
Okay.
She doesn't know how to maneuver with it.
So it's always
Yeah.
into
She gets caught
everybody.
on stuff. And when she walks, it's so funny because her head moves with the cone. So she's got this full body waggle every time she walks.
Oh.
Our dog broke the cone twice.
She has run into a wall once and had it come off.
Our dog kept trying to go up the stairs, so we had to put the gate up so she couldn't go up the stairs because she kept snagging the cone on the stairs trying to get up the stairs. And eventually, she kept trying to get around that baby gate and snagged it on one of the stair rails and snapped it in half. Just great.
She has luckily been able to, because we've got a ramp at the foot of our bed that my husband made. And because she can't jump up on the bed, she can, but if she doesn't feel like doing it, she just sits there at the foot of the bed and barks until you pick her up and put her on the bed. So we built a ramp, but she can successfully go up the ramp and clear the side of the bed that way and not get caught.
Oh,
Wonder if a trampoline would work.
Boing.
That's, yeah.
She would be scared to death of that thing.
Make a little pet escalator.
Never know.
She's scared of everything.
Is she scared of ceiling fans?
When we put it up, she was for a little while.
My brother's Weimaraner, if the ceiling fan was going on low in the room, dog would not go in the room. Stood there, stared at the ceiling fan.
She's found out when we brought her home, the first time that we brought her home, we turned the TV on and she was scared, like sitting in his lap, shaking because of the TV.
how old was she?
12 weeks old.
Yeah, Lindsay's dog doesn't like the ceiling fan at all. I haven't noticed it was any set speed, but I think it's probably something he can hear, but we can't.
Yeah.
It's kind of funny though. If you turn the fan up high enough that you couldn't see the blades, really, dog was fine.
Okay.
If the ceiling fan was turned off, he'd still kind of sit there and stare at it, just like, if it, waiting for it to move.
Yeah.
If you went over and flipped on the switch to turn the fan on, he'd take off out of the room.
She was just scared when we first put the one in the living room up. Other than that, they don't bother her. Or if we clean them. She doesn't like it when we clean them.
Yeah, my wife gets mad when I clean our ceiling fan.
Because you clean it with an air canister.
No, I've got one of those air Zukas.
Oh.
Yeah. I bet that does the trick.
I knew it was something that caused the dust to disperse.
I wonder-
I've got one of those special
Say,
dusters.
hey,
that
honey,
you
I'll
just
clean the
slide.
ceiling fan if you sweep the floor afterward.
while it's running. Think of the mess then. That would be amazing.
Oh, God. Dust everywhere.
I heard that Airzukas are banned at some conventions.
It probably causes people emotional harm.
Especially one that Corey Feldman's at.
We have a story
By
to
the
tell.
way,
Yeah.
I found it.
You found it? Good.
Yeah, and printed it out.
All right. Does it make
Maybe-
sense?
I had to reload my paper.
Does
Yeah,
it
I
sort of
mean-
make sense the way I did? All right.
Yeah.
I figure by bolding out each character's lines, it sort of helps to follow along. That way, you know when your spot's coming up.
Mm-hmm.
I try to make it simple. Now, if I could just get some response, I guess I'm going to have to message everybody and go, hey, check your emails.
So you have enough. You have enough spots for all the roles.
Yes, everybody's
Okay.
full.
Good deal.
The show has been cast.
Yes.
And no
And
addition.
I put out a casting call Thursday night. Was
Yeah.
it Thursday night? I haven't gotten one response yet.
Oh, for the thing you were talking about last week.
Yeah,
That's a damn shame.
it really is
Because it's
I'm paying.
it's super like amazing topic material too.
Yeah.
Lewis, shoot me that that casting call back through email.
Okay.
I know some people that may be interested
Okay.
that we can put in it. I can notify.
But like, this is the script that I've got so far. This is the one that we're using to audition from. And it's like fade in. Costume actress playing 688 member Mary is behind a desk writing, head down. Sound is voiceover, slightly reverb with 40s music low in the background as if playing on a radio. Background is dressed to resemble a quiet corner of a barracks. Character Mary. Dear Mom and Dad, I'm sorry it took so long to write to you. Forgive me.
He's got the vid.
Bless you.
I'm sorry it took so long to write to you, but we've been all very busy getting settled into the new barracks. Mary raises her head to look around. She's pensive about her surroundings, but trying to put on a brave face. Mary, I can't tell you exactly where we are because it's still classified, but we're somewhere in the southeastern states, but at least it's warmer than back home. Mary drops the pen, looks up directly into the camera, breaking the fourth wall, talking extemporaneously to the audience. The weather might be warmer, but the reception was cold as ice. But I can't tell Mama that. She's worried enough I might be going to war. I can't tell her how I'm being treated by these people down here. Can't go here, can't go there. Don't use that water fountain. You go to the back of the bus. Sometimes I feel like the dogs get treated down here better than the colored folk. Realizing she must continue the letter, Mary puts her head back down and continues writing. So, I mean, it's going to be really, really good stuff because she's going to tell the camera, she's going to tell the viewer what she just can't tell her mom, either because the letter is going to be censored before it goes out or because she doesn't want her mom to worry.
Mm-hmm.
And then in the fourth video, this is the third video. In the fourth video, she's going to be writing home from England. And, by the end of this video, she's going to be really kind of worried because if the Americans treat their own people this bad, what can she expect going over to a foreign country? And she's really, really apprehensive about going overseas. And then when she gets to England, they were treated like equals. And, so now she's like, this was something totally unexpected. And we're basing these scripts on actual letters too.
Oh.
So, because they've got a stack of these letters that have already been published in other sources that we're pulling from, and some of this stuff is gut wrenching.
And what's the well? Just send me the information so I
Okay.
can forward it to a couple people.
It's the 6888.
6888.
Yes, the first all black Women's Army Corps or WAC unit, and the first all black unit to be sent to the European theater. And what they did was they sorted mail, but they went for their training here at Fort Oglethorpe. So they did all their training here, and they were treated poorly by the locals.
Oh yeah.
Well,
But,
yeah.
I mean, it was the 1940s in North Georgia. So
Yeah.
Lewis,
so
you
what?
might be interested in this.
okay,
Oh, sorry. Can y'all see that?
yeah, I can
Bring
see
him
it.
up.
I'm trying to.
There we go.
The eyes of the world are upon you, General Dwight D. Eisenhower.
And this has got all the famous music from back in those days.
Oh, cool. Well, believe it or not, I downloaded some 40s jive music. So I do have some music to go in the background, and I have checked, and thank God it is in the public domain. So
Yes, that is very important these days.
Well, one thing I've got.
if you want to make any money,
I've got to edit one of the movies that I really want to run and cut it out because. Do you remember when I wish Skunk was here because I could call him out on this when we were talking about the Night of the Living Dead video, that one of the things that I'm going to have to cut out is the scene of the naked lady walking through. He goes, that wasn't in the Night of the Living Dead.
And it very much was.
Very much was.
maybe it just wasn't in the version that he saw.
There's a theatrical run, then then like a VHS run, and then a Betamax run, and DVD, and Blu-ray, and 4K, and
There was a joke I heard today from John Oliver.
Yeah.
Where he goes, he was talking about the show he does. He says, it's on home box office. And for those of you who are under 25, that means HBO.
Nobody knows what a box office
Buddy
is either.
Hackett. Buddy Hackett did a comedy special on HBO, and at the very beginning of it, when he's starting his act, he says, we're doing this on HBO, which I call hobo, because once you go on cable, you're a fucking bum. I mean, like, whoa, you had never heard Buddy Hackett talk like this unless you saw him live. If your only experience of Buddy Hackett was the Love Bug and his appearances on Johnny Carson, you just didn't expect that.
Didn't realize he was right up there with Red Fox.
Oh my God. Buddy Hackett was so funny.
And Don Rickles, of course, everybody.
Well, yeah, but everybody expected Don Rickles to be mean. But for Buddy Hackett to just come out with this bawdy stuff, I was like, oh my God. He had one story about using Aqua Velva.
I
got 2 words.
The best
Bob
one
Saget.
he did was the joke about the bear and the rabbit.
The what?
The joke about the bear and the rabbit.
The bear.
There was that,
oh,
there was that
yeah.
nice lady, there was the nice lady in the audience that every time he told one of his dirty jokes, her face would turn red, she'd hide her face and all sorts of stuff like that. He says, you want me to tell you a joke that you can tell at church? She's like, oh, yeah.
No, do you have Pluto TV downloaded, Lewis?
Yeah, I've got it on my Roku here.
Have you watched the Munsters channel? Not the Munsters, the Addams Family channel.
All the time.
I saw an episode earlier today that had Don Rickles on the Addams
Family. Addams Family?
Yes. He was a bad guy.
Yes. He was some sort of villain trying to rip him off.
Was that the one where he was like the real estate guy or something? I can't remember. It's been
I
such a
can't-
long time.
I can't remember what it was. It's one of those I walked in and it was on. It's like, oh, Adam's Family did. As I got to walk past the TV, so I watch whatever's on, and there's Don Rickles, and I stopped and I went, Don Rickles on the Adams Family? Okay.
Hang on just a second.
Gonna roll Pluto TV. It's not side
I'm
monitor.
guessing he's getting something.
Uh-oh.
Uh-oh.
Does he have a Don Rickles hat? Oh, no. Okay.
I believe that is a Don Rickles hat. No.
I just couldn't stand looking at my freaking hair. One more second. God, it's a.
Let's see what's on
Yes.
Classic TV.
What's wrong with your freaking hair?
Oh,
That's interesting. I haven't been on Pluto in a while.
didn't look like.
There's a Three's Company channel
Yeah.
as well.
Oh my gosh. I used to watch that all the time.
That
when I
was
a
like my
kid.
jam when I was a kid.
I got
Carol
a question.
Burnett.
I got a question here for Lewis. It's just something I noticed. There's
Hmm.
that French news agency, AFP.
Agency France Presse.
That's the one. And they've got a story about the United States and the Russians doing the nuclear treaty thing.
Mm-hmm.
And treaty banning nuclear weapons to enter into force through the UN. That's how the French wrote it.
Hmm.
And I'm like, how do you enter a nuclear treaty into force? I mean, if they violate the treaty, what are you going to do? Nuke them? They've already got nuclear weapons. How do you enforce a nuclear treaty? It entered into force, and I'm like,
The only way you can enforce a treaty like that is mad.
yeah, exactly. It's like the treaty entered into force. How is it enforced? How do you
Well,
enforce that?
Mad, mutually assured destruction. If you break the treaty, we're all gonna die.
That's usually how it goes.
No,
anyways.
no win scenario.
I don't
Now-
believe in the no-win scenario.
Apparently, Honduras became the 50th country to ratify the treaty.
Honduras?
So,
They don't even have nukes,
no, they do not.
unless Reagan sold them.
Uh,
He did some shady shit in the Central Americas.
Lewis Brian K. Morris says, at least you have freaking hair.
Gotcha.
Yeah, but I don't have a fez, and I really wish I did.
Here's a good one. Some of the cities that have ratified this thing.
Cities.
Nigeria-
Just
What
cities.
What cities have nukes? Hell,
Nashville.
that's the
We have
news
nukes.
story.
We have nukes.
Knoxville has plenty.
see, sorry, countries,
Oak Ridge.
but you'll understand.
Oak Ridge does.
You'll understand here in a minute why I said cities.
The country of Oak Ridge.
Nigeria, Malaysia, Ireland, Malta, Tuvalu, Thailand, Mexico, South Africa, Bangladesh, New Zealand, Vietnam, and the Vatican have ratified the treaty.
Holy nukes, guys.
Yeah, they're going to bless
give
those
the
before they
Vatican-
bless you with them.
Give
All
the
right.
Vatican a little slack. The Pope's been doing a good job.
He's been
Now-
working on it.
Lord,
Now,
yeah.
Since y'all brought up nukes, that made me think of a question that I was rolling through scenarios today to bring up on some future shows. And since you brought it up, okay, how close? We know how close Germany was to having the nuclear bomb.
Not really, but yeah.
They were fairly close. Now here's the question. Had Germany got the first nuke, who would they have dropped it on?
Moscow.
You think they would have gone
Somewhere.
for,
Mm-hmm.
Somewhere in that area.
they would have gone
Yeah, I
that
think
way?
either that or London.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. Would they have hit London?
Okay. Were they
Russia?
going to nuke 2 million Brits or 14 million Russians?
Yeah. It all
They,
depends
they
on-
were getting a lot more shit from the Russians at that time. The Russian front was not someplace a German soldier wanted to be.
No, and the Russians did a whole lot of Nazi killing, and they
So
never
you
really
think-
seem to get the credit over here that they deserve for all the fighting that they did.
Well, because right after they did that enormous good, they immediately kind of turned the tables on us, and
Yeah.
we had to say, "Whoa, this is not what we saved the world for."
yeah,
You
really.
know, Nazism or fascism, communism, kind of two sides of the same coin there.
All right, Skunk's trying to get in. We get the
Hey,
notification,
Brian.
but his video doesn't come up.
No, you probably having phone problems. Hey, Brian. I'm pretty sure nuking Moscow would have sent a much stronger message to everybody else.
Plus, London was savable, and London was worth saving. Moscow, expendable. I mean, there's really no necessary industry, whether it's, you know, communications or munitions or whatever, around Moscow. I mean, enough, but I don't think you want to level London. London is something that once you win the war, you want to be able to turn around and
Yeah, and that's
profit from.
That's the same
And
capital.
occupy,
then.
yeah.
Now let's add
If
this
you knew
on.
anything about Fallout, you wouldn't want to nuke London if you lived in Germany.
Exactly, because the prevailing winds always go from
Or
northwest
only
to
goes-
southeast.
It only took us, what, 30, 40 nuclear devices? We figured that one out.
Yeah.
Now here's the next question: Would America have given up, or would we have got one too?
Well, it depends on how far we were already with
Yeah.
ours. I mean, if they had dropped their A bomb, say a month before we, you know, nuked Hiroshima, then no, we would have retaliated.
And
We
then
wouldn't
it got real ugly.
Yeah, then, you know, I mean, at that point, Truman would have said, well, shit, these things work, so let's use ours.
And then I
You
probably
agree, John?
wouldn't be here today.
As a military strategist.
Pretty much.
Yeah, I mean, if we had already been testing at White Sands and the Bikini Atoll, so we knew that if they had just beaten us by a month or two,
Yeah, that would have been all said
then
and done.
we would have said, "Oh well, fire up the bomber, boys."
Berlin would have got it instead of Hiroshima.
Maybe, but once again,
We
Berlin
probably
was
would have
worth
saved
saving.
the third one for Japan rather than the first two.
I don't think they'd hit Berlin.
And look what
It is
We purposely hit Japan instead of Germany with the H bomb because it was a direct retaliation for Pearl Harbor.
Yes.
now. Brian Morris just posted that up as we said
Mhm.
as I asked that. So
Yeah.
we do,
Yeah, Berlin was salvageable.
Berlin had a lot of cottage industries and most of their government.
Yeah.
Well,
But
Berlin's
I would
also
have hit Berlin.
salvageable because it's landlocked. Japan,
Now,
not
if
so
you
much
had,
because
if
it's
you
an
had wanted
island
to
country.
hurt Germany, you could have hit Wolfsburg
No,
because
I-
Wolfsburg is
I'd
not
hit-
just Volkswagen. There's a lot of industry in that city. I've been there.
but Stuttgart would have crippled them. And the fallout, if we knew anything
Yeah.
about fallout at the time, would have just decimated Germany.
Yeah. Yeah, because being in Upper Saxony, that fallout would have covered the German landscape.
Berlin would have made headlines.
Yeah.
Stuttgart would have made them quit. So,
Yeah.
Of course,
Now-
there were so many people in Germany that wanted to quit anyway.
Yeah. Yeah, they were tired of the war, and I would imagine there were a lot of Germans that were like us with our current president. He doesn't necessarily speak for me.
Me either.
Now,
You know,
all right.
I kind of liked having a deli down the road.
Now,
You can't get a decent bagel in Berlin anymore.
now, since Brian's here, Brian brought up a subject to me on his show that's something that we should consider with Stupid O'Clock. Downloading our audio and start releasing Stupid O'Clock as a podcast on some of the podcast networks.
We could do it. It's easy.
I don't know. Are we too many voices? Would it be too confusing?
No, I've heard podcasts with 8 or
We
10
would
people.
also have to start introducing ourselves at the beginning of every episode.
That doesn't
Yeah.
hurt.
Yeah,
What
we
about-
could.
what-
Your name
Wait.
tags.
What about blind people who may listen to the show?
Yeah.
We've already offended them.
Yeah.
Just saying.
Now,
Well, we try to offend everyone, but
I know. We're working
Yeah,
on it.
Equally.
Yeah, we
We
got to
offend
offend.
everybody equally.
no offense. If blind people are listening to a conversation anywhere, okay, they have to pick out the voices. I mean,
Yeah.
they can't see our faces. I
Mhm.
mean, if they're listening to the radio announcer, would announce himself. Because you can hear it on the radio.
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
If you watch,
I
TV
guess so.
If you watch
Right.
a TV show or the news or anything like that, you don't normally see people identify themselves verbally.
Well, no, they've got a lower third super for that,
There you go.
which also would be disadvantage to the blind.
They've got that thing for Braille computer reading, the Braille computer readers
Yeah,
that they put at the bottom of the computer, and they can read what's going on while they're doing the mouse and stuff. I have no idea how it
yeah.
works.
A friend of mine who is blind, he just has it all text to speech.
Now, let me ask you a question. Is your friend that's blind, is
Mhm.
he also a traffic reporter?
No, but that's the second person that I'm friends with that's blind.
Yeah.
You're talking about Sean Paul.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You talk
No,
about-
the one that I'm talking about right now is a computer programmer in the Atlanta area.
Oh, okay.
Well, that would be a neat trick. Computer
Not
programming.
really.
I mean,
Yeah.
As long
That's
as your
what-
fingers are in the right row of the keys.
But how are you going to check your work? You gotta have something.
I don't
It
know.
runs as a
I've never
debugger.
actually sat down with him to discuss how he does his work, but I mean, there are things where I'll post on Facebook and it's just a picture, and I may make some kind of a comment, but he somehow knows how to comment on it. So he has descriptive text turned on or something.
Google and a couple other groups work with photographic descriptive text.
Hmm.
You can somehow turn
only
it on.
Carl Witzman would make this comment.
No, I'm pretty sure there are a lot of blind people that would make the same comment.
There are literally.
I'm sorry, Carl. I have to turn the sound down.
Well, there's literally sites for the blind for that specific reason. So
Hey, think of it this way. They don't have to see how ugly the people are that are doing nasty. Okay.
they just have to hear it up.
Oh, come on.
Look at the
What
comment.
are you, a porn Foley artist?
Look at the
Yes,
comment.
I am.
That would be an interesting gig.
I'm actually going to put that on my resume.
Porn Foley artist.
Wait a minute. There was Robin Hood Men in Tights, where the blind
Yeah.
guy was sitting on the toilet with the Playboy magazine in Braille.
Hmm. And it was the shape of the body. Yep. I remember.
Oh, that was a funny movie. God, that
I
was a
love that
funny
movie.
I'm checking Prime Video right now.
And in
for that.
tights.
And I want to welcome David West in. David West is my nephew.
Oh no!
Yeah. And let
Our
me
condolences.
let
Yes,
me
really.
and the problem is
Thoughts
he
and
didn't
prayers. Okay.
David is in his 30s and didn't realize he was my nephew until just a few months ago.
Really?
He is the
David
son
30?
of my,
Was his dad trying to hide you?
Be right
no,
back.
his dad is my wife's biological brother that was adopted when they were younger. If you remember
Oh.
when I was talking about that.
Okay.
Oh,
He's
you're
not
not
30
30 not 30 yet?
He's
Okay,
not
I'm
dead
sorry.
yet.
I'm
He's
sorry.
feeling better. He wants to go for a walk now. You're not fooling anyone.
But of course, today y'all saw my post where I just got a hard slap of reality of I'm getting old.
Yeah, I saw that post.
Yes, I'm now officially the grandfather of a teenager.
Been through that a couple of times already, and there's some more coming up.
Well, the problem is it's that first one.
Yeah. Well, like I said, my granddaughter is
I don't know if I want to
married.
put that back up there, Ryan. Damn, I should have looked at that before I read it. Uh,
You remember what Robin Williams said? Says, you know, everybody loves watching porn, but why does the acting have to be so bad?
Yeah.
They should do Shakespeare porn.
Well,
Oh.
Othello would be interesting.
I can almost. Well, that would put a totally different spin on Two Gentlemen from Verona.
Good one.
yeah, and Carl says, on behalf of Carl, I'd like to say, get the hell off my lawn, Joe. Yeah, well, Carl, the thing is, yeah, I really should. Carl, the thing is, or Brian, the thing is, the reason this one hurt so hard is it was the first one. You know, though.
You remember do you remember your 30th birthday?
Yes, I do.
That was the one you were like, damn, I made it to 30. You know,
Yeah, I remember my 30th birthday. I was 29 when I went to bed, and I went, all right, yeah, I'm doing pretty good. I woke up on my 30th birthday, went to get out of bed, and heard something pop. I ain't never heard pop before, and it hurt that time.
But
You get
like,
used to
like
it.
I was saying, Joe, my granddaughter is married.
Yeah.
That means at any time I
You
could
get-
become a great grandfather.
Father.
My grandmother is a great grandmother.
I have 7 great grandchildren.
Good God.
Oh, what the hell happened?
We all got old.
Oh,
Which
you don't know?
beats the alternative, but
Well, see,
you know,
when a guy and a girl really like each other, see,
when a
And
mommy and
alcohol
daddy
gets
are
involved.
very much in love,
I
Now,
just told
and
my
they,
son
and they
he is
lay
not
together
allowed
in
to
a
make me a
very special
grandmother
way.
Oh,
because my son is old enough to have kids, and I'm like, nope. I'm too young to become a grandmother.
You've got to remember, my oldest daughter turned 55 this year. I'll be 63 in 2 weeks. Do the math.
Yeah, but that's not your biological daughter, right?
No, none of my kids are
Well,
biological. I haven't been that lucky. I had to marry
I
some
would say
crazy
you
women.
have been that lucky.
I had to marry a bunch of crazy women to get all my kids.
he went to rent a center.
No, there wasn't no
rent-
renting involved. I did have to make a few payments every once in a while.
There you go. Okay.
Still making payments on a few of them, but I'm sorry.
No. The first 2 are in urns right now. There's no more payments involved. I've only got the one left alive. I hope to get a lot more mileage out of her. I hope she outlives me, actually.
Who did we lose?
Skunk.
Well, we
Yeah.
never got Skunk.
Blake had dropped out, and now Blake's back.
Oh, okay. I just saw the screen moving it. I
Yeah.
looked away for a moment. All right.
Let's see.
See, he didn't even miss you, Blake.
That's what it is.
Of course,
Fine.
Brian says, if you rent, can you take them back?
Depends on how long you rent them for.
Yeah.
I'm going to disappear then.
Really?
Let's see.
I'll be right back.
I
There we
really
go.
need to get a green screen.
Oh, by the way, that device,
It kind of works. It
that
does that
device
blue
that I
and green
used
thing.
a couple of weeks ago, and I was
Yeah,
able
one
to
you were
use
talking about
multiple
buying.
cameras.
Yeah.
I've pretty much made the choice. I'm going to pull the trigger on that one. Not immediately, but probably within a month or so. Yeah.
Do you by any chance have a Costco credit card?
Or would you
My
like a
wife
Costco
does.
credit card?
Why?
Those things give you cash back on purchases.
Mm-hmm.
Just something to think about if you're going to have to spend $400 or whatever on that thing.
It's actually going to be 600.
Oh, you get the Pro.
I'm getting the bigger model
That's awesome.
because that one allows you to have multiple monitors and just makes it a lot easier. That way I'll be able to see all the inputs in preview before I punch them up live.
Yeah, the whole
pretty
command
much
station.
for $600, you're buying nearly
A
the
TV
same,
switcher.
nearly the same thing UCTV has.
Oh yeah,
Probably better.
I could replace everything in UCTV's control room with one audio mixer, this board, and a laptop. Really, I could be UCTV on location. And if I had that when I was still working with UCTV, I would have been able to do
Remotes and
remote shows. Yeah. I mean, there were a couple of times where we thought about trying to go live from, say, the county fair or something like that, when we just got down to it, the logistics just weren't working. But that could easily be done now. I mean, hell, I went from the Knights of Columbus park up in near Saudi Daisy, and I went live from there using a laptop and a Wi-Fi connection. So
that's pretty
with
epic
with a multi-camera shoot.
And just think about it. You could also, for starting, I think, late 2021, not even have to have a Wi-Fi signal.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
You could have your own ISP connection just outside the door.
Yeah.
All you need is a clear view of the sky.
As far as that goes, 5G is going to change things. I mean, as it is now with my LTE connection, I could put out enough bandwidth to make a multi-camera shoot. But once 5G, man,
I've got 5G.
blow it out of the water. You've got 5G? How is it? Have you noticed the difference?
Yes.
I don't have LTE.
Well, not much of a difference between LTE and 5G, but there's a lot of times I have to turn my Wi-Fi off and use my phone.
Now you see, right now we
had to turn on mobile data to send texts.
Right now, I've got the 10R, the iPhone 10R. My wife just upgraded to an iPhone 11, and now T-Mobile has this deal, and they've got a bigger Wi-Fi network than anybody right now. I mean, a bigger 5G network than anybody. T-Mobile now has a deal. If you go in and get 2 new lines, which we would be new customers to them, you get 2 new iPhone 12s for $100 a month. And I'm paying $190 a month for unlimited data on 2 lines right now. And that they're giving you they're not giving you the phone. They're rolling the price into it. But you get the phones, you get the 5G service
for $100 per line.
$100 bucks. No, $100 for 2 lines.
I don't see. You're paying for that for like the next 8 years, right? Because
I've been with Verizon for 8 years.
I know. I was with Sprint for 10.
You know,
and then
and Verizon doesn't give you shit for being a faithful customer.
And then the hilarious thing is, I'm like, I want to get away from them. I'm going to go to one of these smaller companies. So I went to Virgin, and then Virgin got sucked up by Sprint.
Yeah.
I'm like,
and then Sprint got sucked up by T-Mobile.
Yep. And so now we're back to square one again.
Yeah. I mean, I will look at the coverage map for T-Mobile before I make a choice, but it's really tempting right now. And especially if I go and plunge into this new equipment and start offering this new service, I'm definitely going to need reliable, fast internet from my phone. So I think the real trick will be coverage area and whether or not I can get an unlimited data package. Because right now I'm grandfathered in with the Verizon unlimited data.
Yeah.
It's nice not to have to worry.
That's what I love about I've got Boost Mobile, which is basically now T-Mobile.
Yeah.
I've got unlimited data.
Yeah, mine's $50 a month. Yeah.
$50 a month.
Yeah.
Damn.
What are you paying?
I'm paying $80 a month for me and Donna.
That's pretty good. Yeah, that's the family plan one then. Yeah, I'm a single line.
And
I'm
what's
paying $190.
But we get suckered into like the low tier stuff.
yeah.
Like if a ton of people are on LTE, we won't get exactly LTE speeds since we're on boost. But then if you're in an area where LTE is available and no one's using it, you get the full, 60, 70 megs up, 60, 70 megs down per second.
Excuse me. I use my phone as a hotspot for my laptop at times.
I do that a lot.
Yeah, I do too.
Car trips, I'm streaming Netflix or Hulu or YouTube on my iPad from my phone.
Well, I learned one thing between just past out Pittsburgh. What's the Bridgeport? Between Bridgeport and Huntsville, there is no cellular connection for me. On 840, between 24 and 40, there's no cell connection for me.
Yeah, that's kind of how it is with some spots. I run into it traveling.
Which sucks is when you're using Pandora for your driving music.
Sucks to be you.
You're like, damn it.
Yep, it will max headroom for a minute and just stop.
Yep.
Yeah. Carl, we're so far behind.
We don't use our phones for internet that much.
You're one of the rare few now.
Yeah.
I know.
Is one thing that just makes me madder than hell at some of my family. Why don't you answer your phone? Because I don't keep my phone with me. Half the day my phone was in the car over at your house, Lewis.
There was that one night we were finishing streaming and you were like, oh, I need to go out to the car and get my phone.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll forget mine in my car.
Well, you see, I can leave my phone somewhere, but I can still answer the phone with my iPhone. I
can't go more than 50 feet with my my Apple Watch.
Mine has the cellular in it. It's built in, so I don't have to have my phone on.
All right, Dick Tracy.
No, I keep telling you, it doesn't have video yet, but
that'll be next year.
Yeah, that'll be the Apple Watch 6 series.
Yeah.
This is just the 4.
The 6 just dropped.
Did it? Are you kidding me?
Oh, crap. Yeah, they just had the
7 series.
I saw the advertisement for it. The ultimate iPhone. Those powerful.
They have a new one drop every September.
Yep.
Might as well start calling it 10, Lewis. That way you can stay ahead of the curve for a few more years.
Hey, this one's got everything I want, so I'm good.
Mine not having a camera helps me because I can wear it in the hospitals. If it has a camera, you can't have it on because you can break HIPAA.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
And you know what? I am so sick of that. The medical industry is abusing HIPAA. They will do anything they want to do, and they put it all on HIPAA. Oh, we can't give you that information. It's against HIPAA. HIPAA is Health Insurance Portability and Privacy Act. Mostly about portability. There's very little about privacy. Very little about privacy in that law. And it has nothing to do with some of the uses that the medical industry is using now, especially hospitals. Hospitals are beating you over the head with this law. When you drill down into it, no.
It doesn't cover what they say it does.
No, it does not. They're just blowing smoke and hoping nobody calls them on it. And who's going to fight an Erlanger? I can't afford to.
Nope.
No.
You got
Yeah.
to have a good
So if
lawyer. and a
Erlanger
lot-
says they're not going to give you that information, what you going to do?
Now, what's the damn shame is you can't get your own damn information from them.
Exactly. They've made it difficult to and it was supposed the portability part, portability, privacy. That's the two P's in HIPAA.
Mhm.
Okay, and they screwed the pooch on the portability part. You know, you've got paperless offices now. The only way you can get information from one doctor to another or one doctor to a medical facility is electronically, and they're not talking the same language yet.
Mm-hmm.
I
I went to
don't
go get
know-
my.
I
Actually, I
don't
went to go get my eyes done, and I called my old eye doctor. I'm like, "Hey, can you send my prescription over to my current one?" And they're like, "Well, do you know what system they use?" I go, "It shouldn't matter what system they use. Just go ahead and send it over." And they're like, "Well, we can unless they use this one system
Mhm.
called iCharts." And
Yeah.
that spells with a Z. I was like, "I don't know. This is the first time I'm going to this place." And they're like, "Well, we can't do it until we find out." So
Mhm.
I asked them, and of course, they don't use iCharts. They use something brand new.
Mhm.
And so now I can't get my prescription from one to the other. So they had to do the whole eye exam instead of just sitting me down in the chair and starting with my old prescription.
Could you not go in there and have them give you a copy of your prescription to take with
Yeah,
you?
but that's a pain in
On
the ass
paper.
going all the way across town to stand in line and get my temperature
But how much
taken.
money would it have saved you?
Nothing. My copay.
Okay.
Yeah, zero. It's just a pain in the ass.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Brian's right.
Yeah.
I don't know what TP.
Yeah, TPTB. What is that, Brian?
Yeah, what is that? But yeah, we.
The powers that be.
Yeah.
Oh,
Ah, very good. Thank you.
thank you.
Oh, you're welcome.
That be.
Good translation.
I've run into that. I've run into that many a time before.
Yeah.
Anybody that thinks they're an authority and has power to withhold something that you actually need, that they shouldn't have the power to withhold.
Oh, like volunteers.
Dan, watching
say
you
that?
on this show is just like watching an old Godzilla movie. The mouth never matches the
Never
sound.
matches
It's
the sound.
awesome.
Lewis, when
I'm tempted to become a ventriloquist just because of that remark.
Okay, and it took 3 seconds for your mouth to catch up with your voice.
Yeah, well, that's my local phone company.
Well, you did hear that AT&T is disbanding DSL technology, right?
Oh God!
I did hear it, but
They're not
Yeah.
upgrading it.
Yeah.
So what's out
Yeah, is it.
is it.
And then
and
once
if
it
it
starts,
breaks, they're not fixing it.
yeah, then once the infrastructure dies, they're not
Well, gee,
fixing it.
that sounds like Microsoft and Windows 98.
Exactly.
Of course, the biggest consumer hit on that is going to be AOL.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I
know. Where
forgot
am I gonna
about
use my
those two
150
being
free minutes?
intact.
wait a minute. Are they still a thing?
Yes, AOL is still active.
AOL's still there.
Mhm.
A friend of mine, until he
They'll
passed
catch
away a
up with
couple of
them
years ago,
eventually.
still had an AOL email address.
I still use an AOL email address.
That doesn't surprise me.
I've still got like 6,000 discs
Well,
that they mailed me.
I was making clocks out of them for a while.
yeah,
Yeah,
well,
you just get the clock mechanism from Hobby Lobby, and you just
stick
make
the
clocks
numbers
out
on.
of them. Yeah.
No, Lewis,
I'd put
when I
some
started,
filth in
Wind chimes.
them and use them
We
for
made wind
coasters.
chimes.
when I started all my internet stuff, I started out with AOL, and when you got PayPal accounts and websites and all sorts of crazy stuff, it's a pain in the ass to go in and change the email on all of them. So I
Mhm.
just keep it for that.
That's why after my third ISP, I
Yeah.
made the choice to go ahead and get a Yahoo email address, and I've kept it all these years. So, but I used to have. See, I started out. I think we've had this conversation before. I started out with Prodigy,
Yeah.
then I went to CompuServe. Then my first true ISP was Voyager Online here in town.
Yeah.
VOL.net. And then after that, it was just Bell South, and then Charter Communications, where I worked. So I've had several ISPs, but I've never changed my email. I've never used the ISP given email
No,
address.
I don't touch the ISP email.
No,
Oh, I use ISP
because
email.
as soon as you start getting stuff sent to it, then you've got that can of worms that you have to recan.
I
the
mainly use
spam?
it. I mainly use it for actually to do that spams.
Only,
Oh,
yeah.
for that I use my Gmail account.
Yeah.
See, I have a Gmail account, judgmentallyill@gmail.com.
Oh gosh, I have so many. I have like 6 Gmail accounts because they're free
All
Yeah.
right.
and they hold
Oh.
like 90 gigs.
Now it's my
Who
turn to
remembers
run away.
Hotmail?
I'll be right back.
I had a that was my second email address was a Hotmail. First one was a Juno.
Oh, I remember Juno. That was free also.
Free internet. They
Yeah.
just put this big ad at the bottom of the screen.
Yeah.
My first one was Inner Circle BBS.
Well, you go way back, don't you?
Mm-hmm.
I never
We've
belonged
had-
to a BBS, but
Dad ran one until 2004. It was a staple in my home.
wow. The first internet capable computer that I had was a Tandy FD1100 laptop,
Dad,
and it had a 14.4 built-in modem.
Ooh,
my dad's first run of the BBS was on a Commodore 64.
dang. Yeah, they had probably.
He went from the Commodore to an actual.
Can't imagine a
386.
Commodore 64 as a server. It's barely a viewer now.
He was constantly changing discs, like a couple of times a day. The disc would have to be changed.
Wow.
That's nuts.
Yep. Let's see. I started off with a TRS-80 Model 3, and then went to a Tandy 386, and then went to a Pentium 1. So I skipped a couple of generations in between every iteration.
Well, who could
had
afford
custom-
every iteration?
I know.
I had custom built computers a couple of times, and built my own once or twice. And now I'll go down to Office Depot, Office Max, and go, what have you got that's discontinued? And just pull that sucker, take it home, and max out the RAM, and never have to worry about it until it kind of fries on me. But
I think the last
you-
Franken machine that I had was a Windows unit that I built about 2003. Ever since then, I've been a Mac guy and laptops. I don't build computers anymore.
They didn't have zip drives back then. The only thing that they had back then were floppy drives.
Well,
5 1/4
Intake drive.
floppies.
Zip made a floppy drive, if you remember.
That was
That was the first Zip drive. It was a brand name. It was built by iOmega.
and it was a
And
double. It was a double
We
density
just
hard
had
drive.
Yeah.
regular Commodore drives. They had
Wow.
2 of them.
Brian Morris says he had a VIC 20
VIC
boot
20.
obsolete by the time he got home.
I don't know. When the VIC 20s came out, the computer technology
back
wasn't
again.
advancing that fast.
But you guys also have to, like, my dad built the power supply for our Commodore.
Wow.
It was in a shoebox, just parts in a shoebox. that
Oh,
were
man. I
wired
bet
together.
your dad has some story. You need to get him on the show.
Unfortunately, he passed away 10 years ago.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Carl says,
My dad
Bad me.
used to make parts for pinball machines out of epoxy because you couldn't buy them anymore.
Imagine what your dad would do with a 3D printer.
I know. Oh my
wow.
gosh. Dad's missing it.
Wow.
Like, seriously.
Yeah.
There's so much stuff that's happened that I wish that he was here to see.
Yeah.
and it's changing. Like,
It is.
that.
My dad is a
Yeah.
huge, he was a huge science guy. Like,
Well, you had to have gotten it from somewhere.
yeah, Carl says, was he a ham radio guy?
no.
No,
But-
but I do know a ham radio guy, and you're looking at him on screen right now.
Kate,
My great grandfather on my mom's side. So my grandmother's father. There's a bedroom in the house that my mom lives in that was just for ham radio. There was an extra breaker put downstairs and an extra outlet run to that room just for the ham radios.
A very good friend of mine who lives in Cleveland is top of the line ham radio operator. He just built a hex beam antenna in his backyard. Took him a year to build it, and they just put it up with a 50-foot mast. Okay. So he's been on it all day testing it out. He talked to a ship at sea going around the Horn of Africa.
Wow.
From Cleveland, Tennessee.
That's cool.
I mean, how cool is that? You know, a moving ship at sea going around the Horn of Africa.
I eat ham. Does that count?
No.
I never got into the ham radio thing either.
It's interesting.
The BBS thing, and
I wanted to, but the no.
Well, that's not it's not even a requirement anymore.
Yeah.
You don't have to know
Oh,
Morse.
you know, all that stuff's on computer.
You still have to know Morse to become
And
a pilot.
if you
So I had to
have-
learn it to become a pilot. But
a ham radio license, you can get emergency tags for your car.
in Tennessee, and I had them for a while.
I had a friend that I
Then-
knew.
Then you decided to pay state income tax.
Yes,
And
but
so
I now
remember-
have a veteran's tag that I pay nothing for
from now on.
from now on.
How do you get one of those?
I'm in Georgia.
Moved to Georgia.
Okay.
Veterans get a free license plate.
Maybe we need to move to Georgia. Quit
Now, I
paying
can recall
$80-something
back in
bucks
the-
a year to register my car.
I can recall back in the 70s when you had to have a ham radio license to have a CB.
Now,
Yeah.
I know somebody who used to live in Cleveland who had their ham radio license and had the emergency tags.
Yeah, Carl just said something that
Who was it? Maybe I know him.
D. Holtzclaw?
No.
Anybody who's been to Chattacon knows the Holtzclaws.
oh yeah, actually Dee's been in here a couple times.
D lives in New York now and has a fancy computer job.
New York City.
D's always been like in the computer thing.
Yeah, Carl was talking about that he was listening to a strange call on the shortwave, but he said that a ship had just picked up the broken O-ring from the shuttle Challenger. Said that was wild.
Wow.
That is.
And actually, John and Heather, maybe Heather and Dan actually know somebody who was involved in location of the crew. And well, Lewis, you actually know him because of the Chattanooga Message Forum.
Who?
Dave Martin.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay. When he was
I didn't
when he
know
was
that,
in the
but
Navy?
I forgot he was in Navy.
Yeah. It was a submarine that actually located it. He was the subber.
Yeah, I know. I know a couple of submariners. Strange people they are. I mean, anybody who's willing to go out of the sunlight for 6 months at a time, they got to be a little odd.
Do you think I would love to be on a submarine, but I don't think they'd let me.
I don't think so. Well, you meet the height
no.
requirement.
Not with your gas problems, no.
I didn't think about that. You're right. What they do filter the air pretty
was
well.
exactly why he said that.
Seaman McNeil, we need you to go down there and check the torpedo tube for us. Just go down there and knock on the outer door real quick.
How do we smell methane? We're not gas powered. We're a nuclear submarine. Why are we smelling gas?
Night, Brian.
Good night, Brian. Thank you for dropping in.
Aw.
But yeah, we
Thank
will
you for
take
being here, Brian.
consideration of rolling Stupid O'Clock into a podcast.
It would work. It really would.
It would be easy to do. We just had to wind up announcing ourselves once at the beginning of each broadcast, so people would get a feel for our voices.
Of course, we could really mess with people and just make up personalities and claim that we're them. Tonight on the show, Dan Aykroyd. Hey, guys.
Lewis, you look about the way I feel right now.
Oh, God.
Mm.
It was fine before you put the hat on.
Now you got hat head.
Yeah.
That's why my hat's on. My hair is a mess.
Hey, I'm just glad I've got hair to complain about. I mean, it could turn gray or turn loose, so it turned gray.
You lucked out.
I'm so happy that my gray hair does not transfer.
Every time I get mine cut, there's more gray.
Well, of course. If you pull a gray hair out, 6 come to its funeral. That's what my mom always taught me.
Yeah.
Your mom was a very wise woman.
She was.
Oh,
Don't.
I can tell it is raining. Oh, I'm not stretching because I'm tired. I'm stretching because I'm hurting.
I was waiting for his chair to go all the way back, and all we saw was the shoes.
The feet going.
That's
I
why.
so expected that on Brandy.
Either that or it goes.
Hey, I'm still afraid to go back and watch that episode.
Oh,
Don't do
you
it, it's a
haven't
trap.
been there?
Don't do it.
Oh, no, definitely do it.
No, I don't want to have to pour my brandy down the sink. That stuff's expensive.
Yeah,
Hey.
Lindsay's putting it on her Christmas cake.
Hey, at least I didn't drink tequila because it'd have been a whole different story.
Do you know tequila is the only alcohol that is considered a upper and not a downer?
Really?
Really, after 3 shots, you're going to be hitting the floor. That's pretty down.
Tequila wires most people. You can drink tequila and do some stupid stuff and never remember.
I know people that drink water and do stupid stuff.
But it has different effects.
Well, y'all heard the story
Wait a
about
minute. Tequila or mezcal?
Well, do you want regular or do you want ethyl?
Regular unleaded, yes.
Because I've never heard that about. I've never heard tequila as an upper. Now mezcal, on the other hand.
Yeah, guys, y'all are definitely going to have to come to a green room one night in Uncle Carl's secret room. Because I'm going to tell you, that is a blast. They say stuff we're afraid to say.
No, we're not afraid to say it. We're just being polite, not saying it on your show.
Then you just yell at us if we do say it.
And
We're trying not to get you demonetized. Otherwise, I'd sound like, never mind. You get the idea.
What's
They've changed their
Say
mind
it. I
about
dare you.
tequila.
You sound like a sailor.
they
Go ahead,
changed their
say it. I
mind about
dare you.
tequila.
Yeah.
Well, no, I was
All
going
right.
to say.
Have we got skunk? Have we got a skunk?
Maybe. I
got a
see
video.
face.
He's driving
Has there
in
been
his
a
car.
skunk sighting?
We got a skunk.
He's driving. Oh,
Well, I'm not driving.
Oh,
You push it. You fucking push it. I'm looking to push it, you motherfucker. We just
Samuel L. Jackson strikes again.
we just left the film festival. We saw some amazing stuff while we were at the film festival. We sold tons of VHS tapes. I'm in the car with Audrey. There's Audrey. Say hi, Audrey. Hi, Audrey. So yeah, Scrub House did great at the festival. We sold a lot of stuff, but then it rained. We had to quickly pack up all the VHS tapes. Unfortunately, our friend Mike, all of his VHS tapes got soaked, bad soaked. Yeah, his tapes are probably ruined.
that's why Blu-ray is better. It's waterproof.
I don't know about that. VHS tapes are like vinyl. Sure, they're not the most high quality thing in the world, but it's just got so much more soul and personality to it. But we did great. We saw some really cool stuff for this year. For the short film thing, they did a Grindhouse trailer special. It was all Grindhouse trailers for movies that don't exist that the filmmakers made. And my favorite one was a horror film called Babies with Rabies, and it was amazing. Babies with Rabies looks like the kind of movie I would totally watch. It was awesome. Audrey's favorite was a gay exploitation film called Hot Rods.
Quarter mile. Continue straight onto US 129.
GPS just went off. I'm sorry. GPS just went off. It was called Hot Rods, and it was a gay men in prison film that involved a muscle car, and it was awesome.
Okay.
We saw
Now-
so many other cool things too. There was a trailer.
The US 129 north.
Shut up, GPS. There was
How to get home?
There was another trailer that they did that was also really good called Drugs with the Devil. And it was about getting high and playing records backwards. And it was done in like a 70s exploitation style, which was really cool.
I'm
Very
sorry.
60s beatnik film.
I'm sorry, but the name Babies with Rabies sounds like a 80s punk band.
Dude, you should have seen the trailer. It was awesome. It was just these baby dolls, and like somebody brought in their infant and covered her in blood, and she was just sitting there like eating raspberries or something, just next to a dead body. It was hilarious, and it was like, yeah, it was great. The whole entire way that they explained the whole Babies with Rabies thing was awesome, dude. They were like, wouldn't it be B for baby and R for rabies? It's like, no, blue to red for babies, red to blue for rabies. And then she mixed the drugs up. It was awesome. The trailer was hilarious. And it was just the trailer. It wasn't even a full movie. I was laughing my ass off at that. Whole movie was awesome. The trailers. And then we watched, last night we watched, what did we watch last night? Well, we didn't watch anything last night. Somebody set a tent up in front of us. We couldn't see anything.
We also didn't have a radio.
We also didn't have a radio, so we couldn't hear anything. Tonight we watched Return of the Living Dead and Demons. But after Return of the Living Dead was when it rained and we couldn't sell anything.
Literally at the end of the movie.
Literally, the movie was ending and it rained. It was terrible. And then we did Demons while the rain stopped, and just sat there and watched a movie and had a good time. Now we're heading back to Audrey's place. Anyway, I set up after show for you guys.
Okay.
So you have after show stuff already in advance, ready to go.
All right.
So your after show stuff will happen. But how are you guys? How's everybody doing?
Doing
One
good.
at a time.
Fine.
Not all at once, because I get a small, tiny little speaker on my phone.
Your tiny speaker can't handle all. Okay.
No, it can't handle 6 people at once. But everybody doing good?
Doing good.
Have a great
Doing
weekend.
fine.
All right, awesome.
I just thought about it. He can't see our little thumbnail thumbs up either.
I can see your thumbs up. I can see everybody just fine. But if you all start talking at once,
Blake got it.
Can you
well,
see?
there you go.
Yeah,
But if y'all start talking at once, it just turns into a blur that I can kind of hear Blake behind.
Hey, everybody.
Hey, everybody.
Hi. How are you doing?
Yeah, that was terrible timing on all of y'all's part.
We're good like that.
But no, I got after show set up for y'all. I might do it when I get back. I don't know. We've got some stuff to do tonight when we get back to the house. But I might be on the after show. I don't know. I might also have to be quiet. I have no idea what people got planned for Sunday at the house. So.
All right.
But anyway.
Thanks for dropping by.
No, I want to tell you guys, yeah, the festival was great. It was tons of fun. We got to see some really cool stuff. Got to meet some really cool vendors. Got to meet some not cool vendors, but I don't want to talk about that. And we networked. It was really cool. Also, I did Joe.
Yes.
I talked up the toy and comic expo.
Awesome.
We got a couple vendors interested. Might be coming down for that.
All right. If we can pull it off.
Right on, man. All right, I'm gonna jump off here. I'll see you later.
All right.
All right, bye.
Good night.
Okay, that was odd. A lot of echo there.
And ladies and gentlemen, that's what happens if you don't use a headset,
On your phone, yeah.
especially on your phone.
In traffic.
Well, it was nice of them to check in.
Yeah. All right.
I don't know how you do it, John. It just doesn't echo.
My laptop doesn't echo.
If my built-in mic didn't had gotten messed up, I used to go without the headphones most of the time, and the iMac was doing a great job.
And then he took it in to do something, and they
I took it in to have the RAM increased, and when they were putting the faceplate back on, they boogered up the microphone. So, and I took it back to get it fixed, and they fixed it a little bit, but still not back to normal. So,
This is a gaming laptop, and we set it up for gaming. It's got the little delay thing so that you don't get no echoes and things of that nature. But I do have gaming headphones. I just hate wearing headphones.
So do I.
And
I'm in radio.
I found the discovery we were talking about, DSL and all that stuff dying. Did you know you can still order a CD-ROM to install AOL dialer?
God.
I'd be willing to bet if I opened a few drawers around here, I could find one or two of them.
Yeah, but who still has a landline to plug it into?
Well, I do. I'm required to have a landline for work.
Really?
We have an emergency landline. We do not use it. If we turned it on, it'd be like $50. All we'd have to do is plug a phone into it and pick it up, and we'd have a phone and phone number and everything. But they charge us like $50 right there.
That's craziness.
I don't know why
$20 a phone call.
my employers require it, but they do. They're perfectly happy with all the new kids, 20-somethings that don't have a landline. They've got a cell phone. But because I was grandfathered in, because I'm old enough to be somebody's grandfather, I have to have a landline.
Call them up every day, like 3 a.m, just to make sure the landline works.
I know. Call the highest manager. Be like, hey, just 3 a.m.
Just checking to make sure my landline works, and then hang up on him. And they'll change that in a month, easy.
I would like to stay employed for the next 40 months.
If they require you to have a landline, it is your responsibility to ensure it works on a daily basis.
By testing the line. I would suggest
you make a come up check.
Mm-hmm.
Y'all are bad.
I don't think the people in Paris would appreciate that. Plus, it would cost me a lot of money.
I would love to send them fax signals. Mm-hmm.
Call collect to
1-800-COLLECT.
Does that still work?
I don't know.
Who knows?
We're about to find out.
Oh, you gonna call it?
I seriously haven't used a landline phone. Well, I mean, I had to at the radio station a few times, but my personal landline phone, I haven't had one in 9 years.
Yeah, it's been, 15, 16 years for me. Like, we even switched to VoIP at work.
Mm-hmm.
I think my mom.
When were the tornadoes, the April tornadoes, Lewis?
Easter, but I can't.
No, the April tornadoes.
2011. April 27, where we had those EF5s come through.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
2011.
Okay, I've not had one since 2011. Of course, I did find out.
That's 9 years.
Of course, we had our phone through EPB, so they put that little battery box outside for, because the phones have to stay working. It also powers the ONT and powers the internet and the TV. So I came straight out of the wall into my laptop for the Ethernet and used my inverter that I got in the car, a 1500 watt inverter I got in the trunk of the car of my HHR to power the house, which will also run the TV, a coffee maker, if you got the motor running. So here we were watching, the news when the entire neighborhood's blacked out. You see TV shining out my window. I had people drop by my house and stop and look, trying to figure out how the hell do they have TV?
Well, I've got a 5K generator here in the garage where I can hook it in, but the interface to plug a generator into your breaker box is expensive.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Unless you know what you're doing. And then it's not so bad.
Yeah.
I personally have not had a landline since 2004.
And you're one of them young whippersnapper kids that we're talking about.
My mom still has a landline, and my grandmother still has a
I think
landline.
when my mom changed her cable up just recently, got new internet, she now has a landline.
Is it a landline or VoIP?
Not
I'm
sure
talking about a twisted copper pair from Ma Bell.
Mm-hmm.
That's a landline to me.
She said landline. I have not
Mom's
actually.
is through EPB.
Yeah.
That's VoIP, actually.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's
like
VoIP.
Vonage and
If
crap like
EPB
that.
is providing it, it's VoIP
Yeah,
Okay.
But she-
Comcast
because
She has
they
the
don't
cable
do
cable.
copper.
She has cable, so I'm assuming that it may actually be landline. They got the little green post in front of her neighborhood, if that's what you know what I'm talking about.
Yeah, the pedestal,
Yeah, the what is it, 8x8?
Bell, the Bell South pedestal.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, something not go down right, Joe?
No, something came back up that didn't want to stay down.
Didn't agree with you there.
I had to ask.
Good night, Carl.
Good night.
Good night, Carl. Sorry that one ran you off. Oh, no, it was coffee to beat all. Oh,
Ugh.
that second round coffee just ain't quite what it cracked
Wait a
up.
second. If
Hey,
I bring 2 big
John,
cups of-
you're living in Catoosa County, right?
mostly, yeah.
Who's asking?
I'm moderating a debate Tuesday night between the candidates for your county chairman, Stephen Henry, Ernie Pursley, and Nick Ware. I do not live in Ringgold, nor do I live in Catoosa County, so I really don't know what are the hot topics. So if you have any good questions that I could ask them, it would really help. I've asked John Pless to also supply some, but he may feel, because he's the spokesperson for the county, he may feel that would be a conflict of interest on his part.
He's not at EPB anymore?
No, he hasn't been with EPB in a couple of years.
Oh.
Yeah.
Nothing I can think of right offhand.
Well, about a year. Nothing you can think of offhand?
Yeah.
There's nothing about the county that you want to know about from your future commissioner?
Know about? I mean,
Yeah. Like, when is that damned interchange ever going to be finished?
Where is your tax records? That's usually a common one now, right?
something like that. I mean,
If you think of anything, just PM me.
I'm old enough to know that road construction takes as long as road construction takes.
Yep.
Especially in that area.
I
At
tell you,
least they're fixing it.
the 75-24 split is going by a lot faster than the 27. 27 is going to be a 10-year project before it's all done. And
by the time that they
northbound lanes
finish
are all
it-
finished. They're all ready.
The other
It's
part's going to be
southbound they're
broken.
screwed up on now.
By the time that they finish the 27, they're going to have to redo it again.
Because it's not going to be big enough.
Yeah, it's 4 lanes right now.
It's nice.
Because
Yeah,
I had to go to the radio station tonight to drop off to upload my show, which in 2020, why am I still physically going with a thumb drive to upload a show? Why can't they just fix the VPN? But I digress. And going up there, man, I had 4 lanes all to myself, man. Saturday night, and it was like clear sailing.
Well, if you quit using the wrong side of the road,
That was so cool. He literally had the glass to his mouth, and I was hearing him talk.
we aim to amuse.
He's a ventriloquist.
Yeah.
I've only seen that done on
Yeah,
TV.
soon you will be
Say
hearing my
something.
thoughts. I won't
Yeah.
even
You got
be in
about
the
a
channel. You'll
3-second
be able to
lag
hear
there.
my
Oh
voice.
my god.
Now,
Oh, let's
Should I
play
step
a
out, come back?
first person shooter with Dan. We'll cream his ass with that latency.
You wouldn't be able to shoot him.
Yeah, he'd be everywhere.
Yeah, he'd be gone before.
He's sitting there shooting him in the face, and his bullets. He'd be gone before the bullets ever got to him.
But
he'd
yeah,
be killing us.
yeah, because he would find us and shoot us, and then we'll be dead halfway after we'd moved halfway across the screen.
And then you
Yeah,
hear the
because
bullet.
it's his upload speed that's
Yeah.
screwed. So yeah.
But yeah, road construction. I know Heather, if she was in that area, Briley Parkway and Murfreesboro Road, like that area was under construction literally to add a second lane to go onto Briley Parkway, and the actual roadway to get there took 20 years to finish. 20.
Because I know
And
where
so-
you're talking about.
Yeah, in South Nashville. Yeah. 20 years to add a triangle of concrete and a second lane. So yeah,
I just wish they'd be
Don't-
finished with the Hickory Hollow stuff.
they
We got
want
that one down here at the First Ringo exit there.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about.
It's going great. If you saw how much they're actually working on, because it goes all the way over to 40.
For 2 years.
Yeah.
It's a simple interchange, man.
No. You do realize they are tearing down the old Eisenhower era bridge and putting in a new 6-lane bridge right there across the interstate.
Six-lane
Across I-75.
A
Yeah,
6-lane bridge?
A 6-lane bridge across the
It's
interstate.
3, right? No, it's 5. Yeah, it is 5. Okay. So
It'll be
just
6
adding
when
one
we're done.
lane?
3 lanes going one way, 3 lanes going the other. And I think 2 of them are actually going to be turn lanes.
Well, the
center.
inside are going to have to be turn lanes.
And,
Well, yeah, because that's the exit where I store my RV. So,
okay.
you know,
and then,
and I don't know why they decided to make the on-ramp northbound from that interchange 12 feet long. I almost get killed every time I'm trying to get on northbound I-75 from that exit with my RV, because
Have you been
there's
there?
always
Have you
some
been there in a while?
18-wheeler who's dumb enough to be in the right-hand lane instead of allowing for merged traffic.
Have you been there in a while?
Month ago.
Probably about a month ago.
They're doubling the off ramp is going to be almost a mile long. For the southbound off ramp to get onto.
Care about the off-ramp. That's a deceleration lane.
Let me finish. It's going to be
Wow,
almost a
man.
mile long and 2 lanes. It'll wind up being 4 lanes by the time you get up to the top of it with all the turn lanes and everything.
The off-ramp?
The off ramp, they've quadrupled the size of it. Because if you've lived down here for a while, let me finish.
Okay.
That off ramp, it was 1 lane and it was barely a quarter mile long.
Mm-hmm.
And they literally had traffic stacked up down the off ramp up the interstate, sitting on the median, all the way like a mile up the interstate on the side of the road.
I'm used to seeing that up here.
Okay. They're going to get rid of that. That new off ramp is going to be great. The
Okay.
on ramp for northbound
Mm-hmm.
is going to be almost a half mile long and 2 lanes when they get done. They're still working on
Oh.
it, but
Okay.
Well,
Until then, I take my life in my hands because I've got a 10-year-old RV that's 30 feet long and does not exactly accelerate like a rocket.
it's
Don't
going to have a
fall out
good
of a
long
tree if you
downhill
push
run. It's just the thing was they wanted to get that off ramp done first because of all the traffic that was backing up on it,
Mhm.
because it was literally backing up a mile up the side of the interstate. It was almost up to 2A in some cases.
well, actually, I'm looking forward to coming up 75 starting Monday. because they're changing 24 to go 24 towards Nashville now. You're going to have to get in the right lane because 75 is going to the left lane.
So they're gonna change that around like they did 153 interchange.
Yes.
And people are still gonna be so. Ow.
Wait, what?
Yeah.
Yeah. Right now,
to go to Nashville,
if you're going 24,
Nashville went
Coming
this way.
from
North Georgia.
Okay, so
Going
you're
into
coming from
Chattanooga.
I-75 south, coming across
75 north.
75 north.
from 153.
No,
That's
from North Georgia. When you're coming into Chattanooga from North Georgia on
From East
75, and 75 goes to the right to go to East Brainerd, or to the left to go 24 westbound. Now, instead of being in the left-hand lane to go 24, you have to be in the right lane because it's going to cross over.
They're going to do a spaghetti junction.
Okay.
But it's
Like
going
they
to
did
be
with
freaking
like they did with
awesome.
153 at 75.
You would not believe how fast they're doing this. And I mean, it's major construction. And
You
they're
saw
moving right
how
along,
fast
though.
they got 440 done, didn't you?
Yeah. Yeah, because I have to go to Nashville at least 4 times a year. So I get a chance to
completely
see the
shocked.
progress. Yeah.
Yeah, they got 440 done in 6 months. The entire 440.
Yeah.
And now they're doing it to 65 and the area where
I
65
take
means
440. I take 440 all the time because I go down and then catch Broadway up to the Vanderbilt area to go to the VA.
Yep. So yeah, you're right there.
Well,
now,
So yeah.
Heather, you know how you're coming, like you were asking for, coming from 153 headed south? Hey, you used to have to go up and over those bridges. Those bridges are going away. And now 75 will not, there will be no uphills to 75. 24 will have to hit bridges to get out. Go back to that other map. Whoever's doing that. John?
Yeah.
Okay. 70. See how 75 splits up
Yeah.
here? 75.
Actually, that's 75. That's 24.
Yeah. The green 75, those two
Well,
lanes will move close together, side by
Right
side.
here?
Yeah. They'll actually be closer together. And 24 entrant 75 will not cross 24. 24 will cross 75.
That's weird. Because it still goes the correct way.
I'm going to flip out the first time that I go through this.
Yeah,
probably.
I'm going to Brainerd then.
I mean, up until this weekend, the traffic pattern has been the same. So this change that they're doing this weekend, why they've got 75 to 24 West closed this weekend, is they're changing the traffic pattern for the first time. So
yeah, 24.
I anticipate traffic jams and a few wrecks, but
the really funny thing is they've got, what is it they got closed over here?
oh, they closed South Terrace.
There's a closed South Terrace. Yeah, that thing. Okay, let me see. You got to go all the way up here. They've got that bridge. They're fixing that
on
bridge.
24 East.
Belvoir Bridge. Yeah. Belvoir
Oh
Bridge.
yeah, Belvoir Bridge is out.
Yeah.
It's gone.
They pulled it out.
Yeah.
And when the idiot hit the Moore Road Bridge with the track hoe and messed it up, they're not even going to fix that bridge.
What?
No, they're not going to fix the bridge because next year they're tearing the whole bridge out and putting a new bridge in. So why spend $8 million to rebuild a $25 million bridge that you're going to tear down to put up
a $60 million bridge on top of it? Yeah.
All right. With that map, where's the LibertyCon Hotel?
Oh, well, now you tell me.
Yeah, I don't know this topography
Another
very
15
well.
miles
Dan-
away.
Dan, oh yeah, you will come through that. Yeah. Coming up to LibertyCon next year will be confusing for
You
you.
need to be in the right-hand lane.
You will need to be in the right-hand lane.
And
They're
then
gonna have to repaint 75 there by the welcome center
Yes.
because they've got those big emblems on the road.
Yeah,
Mhm.
those are going to have to be repainted.
Yeah.
No, they're not going to be repainted. They've already ground those away.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
So-
but when they get finished, they're going to have to put them back.
Yeah,
Yeah.
they'll
That's
put new ones.
That's DOT standard now.
So basically, it looks like I come up, take a left, and go a little bit.
No,
White,
it's right
you
now.
gotta take a right.
signs. Yeah.
You're going to take a right. You're going to take a right to go left.
Because you're
Because
gonna
it
go
is America after all.
over 75.
Yeah, you'll actually cross over 75. 75 won't cross over you now.
Gonna have
And that-
to update that map.
Yeah,
It will be.
You're gonna have to print out a new one.
No. My GPS. I'm gonna have to update the route that I've got already established.
Well,
And guess what,
if
guys?
it auto updates, that's awesome.
Bow.
All
About
right,
that
7
time.
minutes.
it's a 10-minute warning. Where's my 10-minute warning? He
Almost
moved.
the end of the show.
There it is.
Every time I hear that, I expect to see Goldie Hawn in a bikini
Yeah,
with body
exactly.
paint all over her, you know.
Let's
Before your
go to the
time,
party.
Either Goldie Hawn or
Oh, hey, laugh in.
Helen Mirren, someone.
Ruth Buzzy.
Ooh, Helen
Yeah,
Mirren
who's,
back in the day.
Hmm
She's still a
Helen
very
Mirren now.
pretty woman.
Yeah, she's still sassy as ever too.
Hmm. Yeah.
I saw her on Conan a handful
Who
of years
else
ago.
was on Laugh In besides Goldie Hawn? There was some other famous woman.
Well, Ruth
Twiggy?
Buzzy and Twiggy
Buzzy.
was on there a bunch.
Was it
6
Liza?
seasons.
Was it Liza Minnelli? Was she on there?
I don't remember Liza on there.
Terry Garr.
Mm.
No, Barbara Feldon was on there.
No,
Joanne
that's a
Worley.
maybe. Joanne Worley, yeah.
Yeah, well, I think we're talking about hotties.
I'm just
Poor
putting
Joanne.
names. Hey, figures can be
Yeah.
choosers sometimes. So
Hey, now I did see Terry Garr.
I know. Burt Reynolds' ex-wife. Crap, what was her
Lonnie
name?
Anderson.
Lonnie.
No, not Lonnie.
Sally.
No, not Sally Field.
Sarah Kennedy. No. I don't know.
Alexa, who was Burt Reynolds' first ex-wife?
This might answer your question. Burt Reynolds was married to Judy Carney.
Judy Carn.
Oh yes.
Judy Carn was the other bikini
that
dancer.
was the dark-haired girl then.
That should have been Lewis.
Yeah,
that
she
should
was
have been
the
named-
Suck It To
named
Me girl.
Easily remembered.
What?
Julie Carn.
Judy Carn.
Judy Carn.
Carn.
That should have been one you be easier to remember because you worked for Judy Carn.
Josh
You know,
Gabor.
actually, she was gone before I ever got to Channel 12.
Isn't she the one that runs UCTV?
Oh, no, that's Judy O'Neill.
O'Neill. Oh, okay. Never mind.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Yeah, that's her.
That may be what I was thinking of then, because it kind
Yeah.
of looks like Liza Minnelli.
Yeah. It's very complimentary to Liza.
Liza Minnelli was always a pretty good-looking woman until she started doing,
Oh, come on. Really?
Well, she always wore too much makeup. That's always a
What is
Well, she had
that's another topic for another show. But what is it with the people that start with this damn plastic surgery that they got to keep doing?
Oh, I don't know. And
Like-
please, there've got to be better plastic surgeons in Hollywood.
And it
there's
killed
that
Joan Rivers.
There's that one
Oh,
woman
literally.
Yeah, literally.
There's that one woman on the Christian TV show with the pink hair and
On TBN.
I think that's the one.
Yeah,
And
I know who you're
she's got
talking
the
about.
eyelashes that look like
That-
she replaced her eyes with caterpillars, and
Well,
Yeah.
I mean,
What,
you know,
30 years ago, we'd have called her Tammy Faye Baker.
yeah.
Oh, God. Do you remember the shirts from Gatlinburg that had the look like a woman's face?
What are you
and
shocked by?
I ran
Heather?
into Tammy Faye Baker.
I ran
had an outprint like all the makeup had rubbed off on your shirt.
Mhm.
Yeah. They were selling those at Gatlinburg.
Heather, what has shocked you?
Nothing. My nose
You
is
look
cold.
shocked.
My nose is cold.
Oh, give me a break.
Or notice coded.
It's a
I do
Tennessee
that to
thing.
warm my nose up. It's like you look at me and it's like my
What's-
nose is just
What's
red.
ACS?
Access Control Systems. It's the company my husband works for.
Okay. Repping the husband's biz, huh?
It's just a clean hoodie.
Don't worry, I'm repping my Facebook page for my
He-
business. So
He gets me hoodies because he knows how much I love hoodies.
And I'm wearing,
Hoodies are too binding for me. I got to have an open neck.
y'all remember this shirt?
mm-mm.
I was there 1977.
I wasn't there yet.
So was I, man. I almost got a ticket because I had a 1969 Mustang, and when I left this theater after watching Star Wars, man, that 69 Mustang turned into an X-wing fighter, baby. And I was hauling ass down Government Street in Baton Rouge, and
True.
cop pulled me over, sure as shit, and I'm like, damn.
I forgot how old I was the other day.
The other day, you were the same age as you are now.
Just a couple of days.
Yeah, but I
Older now.
forgot how old I was. I was driving down the road with my
Oh,
windows down, blaring my music in a stick that has a hole in the exhaust.
Okay.
All right.
So I was getting on it.
All right. We got to roll. It is time to say goodnight, everybody.
good night,
Good night,
everybody.
everybody.
Good night,
See y'all
everybody.
next week, or Thursday night, 9 p.m.
Thursday night.
for a preview of HaloCon and HaloCon during HaloCon, or Stupid O'Clock during HaloCon will be a special episode.
Like the one where the kid gets locked in the refrigerator on the kids show, and then
Yeah.
they had to get him out.
God,
So
man,
we'll
feels
catch
like
y'all
this.
next week.
Oh, I have slept the surly bonds of earth and danced the skies on laughter-silvered wings. Sunward I've climbed and joined the tumbling mirth of sun-split clouds and done 100 things you have not dreamed of. Wheeled and soared and swung high in the sunlit silence. Hovering there, I've chased the shouting wind along and flung my eager craft through footless halls of air. Up, up the long, delirious, burning blue, I've topped the windswept heights with easy grace, when never lark nor even eagle flew. And while with silent, lifting mind, I've trod the high, untrespassed sanctity of space, put out my hand and touched the face of God.